you can see the texture above the FIJI Fiji text and 2025 text. Now we are going to recreate them manually. I have created one, but I will show you how to create for others. We are going to use Paint tool massively for this. Watch this video till end. We are going to explore this design as much as possible. Maybe you can learn anything in any minute of this video. So stay tuned. I'm just using Paint tool and to make the shapes. For the circular shapes, we will just use the ellipse tool. Just look alike, not 100% same. We just need to recreate them. First of all, we are going to add these dots or extra shapes over the letters, and then we will cut the skin color parts from this design. We can see say that this is a textured recreation in Adobe Illustrator using the Paint tool. Just see how I'm using the Paint tool. I am just using the left click of my mouse, no button on my keyboard. If I use any keyboard button, I will mention it. Now we are using the direct selection tool to make this corner round. So we have made this. Just using the Paint tool. Just practice the Paint tool most and most and most if you want to redesign something. And if you don't know how to use the Paint tool perfectly, then you can't claim yourself a graphic designer, according to me, as it's the ABCD for graphic designer. Without the Paint tool step, nobody can move to the next part, according to me. But maybe someone can move, but I think they will miss something if they don't use the Paint tool. And for now, if I show you that I have created the texture above the letters in different colors so that you can see the differences between them. And now it's time to place them on our letter. Maybe we have to ungroup them and select the F letter texture. Every letter texture should be different shape, and after that just select one and try to place it accordingly. Maybe we have to make it a slight smaller. Sometimes we may need to adjust something, like this one should be above. As you can see that I have firstly ungrouped this, and then I have selected this text, and by pressing shift, and then I pressed Control Shift and third bracket to make it in front. And we have completed for the F. Now it's time for the I. Again doing the same thing for J, just repeat the things we did. And this is how we can create the grunge effect or texture effect. And after that, now it's time to cut the text. Just place it now. Then I will tell you what I mean by cut the text. And now you can see that if has a cut here. If I mark you, let's take the red color to show you what I mean. You can see here is a circle cut, here is a rectangle cut. So there are a lot of cuts in this design, and we have to make it in the real design. So I'm just going to draw these shapes in red color so that you understand what I mean by the cut. Again, for this type of shapes, I'm using ellipse. I'm just pressing keyboard alt button and left click to adjust the shape. And for small shapes, just using the pen tool. You can also use the ellipse tool. Again, just take the ellipse tool and then take a line tool and select both and go to the pathfinder and ungroup, and then you can delete that. Now you can also do this one. So this is how you have to complete the all cut out of this design. I'm using red color so that you can understand what I mean. Using ellipse tool, pen tool, or everything possible to make the work easier. As long as you practice it, you will earn the skill consequently. Skill is just about practicing a same thing again and again. This is how you can make yourself skilled on a sector, I think, because everyone can do anything. But the difference is between a skilled person and a normal person is the time. A skilled person can do the same thing within a very short time, where a non-skilled person will take a lot more time than needed. And this is why skilled persons are always evaluated. Now I am using the pen tool to complete the design, and I think I have covered everything that needs to be cut down, and I will select them. Again, doing the same work, just need to follow. The if needs more efforts. So let's go. We just need to place this accordingly. So I'm ungrouping this and placing it randomly. I'm not sure where it is placed, just making it look like the image. Firstly, I'm using the red color to make it look like that, and then we will cut down. Let's firstly place the cut downs. Now it's time for eye. Again, doing ungroup, and for eye you can see that this is here below, and this is here. I'm just using a random shapes, so if you miss anything, just consider it as a fault. Now again doing the same thing, and group. And if we see the design, I can show you that I have done a little mistake. Not it will not considered as a mistake, so I'm not mentioning it. I'm just using this shape to place these textures according to the image. You can now easily understand what do I mean by the image. Here is the image and here is the result. And now it's time for the red one. Before red one, I think there is a little mistakes, not mistake, just add this shape also with a direct selection tool, rounded. My mistake. This should not be done rounded. This was the part of eye. I just make it small by pressing shift and left click. You can also do by shift alt click when needed, but I am just using shift and left click. And now you can see that the red parts are easily visible. And now I'm going to select all the red parts, and then we will cut them from the above. Now for the this part, yellow parts, we will just use the shapes. Firstly, just let's make it uh, unite, and then we are going to do this one by one. First of all, we have to make it uh, control C, control F, as we will need this again and again. For that, I'm going to use FIJI later and making it unite by pressing keyboard button control and 8 together. Doing the same for the yellow part, control 8 from keyboard. And now it's time to cut out. So I'm selecting these shapes and the below shape, and then I will go to the minus front and do it. Now again doing the same thing, just select, just keep it here, and you can see the shape, and do the thing again by doing the minus front. And now if I do it, you can see that the parts can easily visible and the background, and if we change the background, we can see the difference between them. If we change the background, you can see the difference that we have cut out this design. And now it's time to cut out the red parts. Doing the same thing again, making all the all these things. First of all, make it control 8 compound path, and then doing the again same thing by pressing control and 8. Now do it, copy, and then again select one and minus front, again do this, select one, minus front. And now you can see that we have added a effect here. Now if we can see that we have missed this part, so I will do it manually. just select it and select the shape behind, and then use the shape builder tool and press keyboard button alt and left click, and we will remove this. And now you can see that I have added a simple uh, front to cut design, and we can now see the difference. And after that we have to add some details in the 2025. And how will we do that? Just follow the process and hopefully you will get your answer. Just making it again, doing the same thing. We can also do it by this, and let's make it red color. As we followed the process for Fiji text, we will do the same for the 2025 text. We are using pen tool to make a manual texture effect. This time I am just using pen tool and drawing every shape possible. I'm not going to take extra paint. So just making the texture above the text, and the cutout at the side of the text. Using the rectangle tool. Now almost we completed the design texture, and now it's time to place them again. So how will you do that? Just follow the process. Just make it a group and we'll place it on the text. Then we have to adjust it according to the design. So just follow this. We have to make it here, adjust it accordingly. Then we have to follow this process. This time we have to make it a little here. So we have to adjust it a little more, as we have the different size for the text and different font sometimes. Now again, going for the 0, making it group, and we'll follow the design here. For the 0 we have to make a shape here. I'm just using the simplify, as I can see that there is a difference between both shape, so I'm using simplify to make it look like that. I will make it smaller. Then for the these shapes, just use here, and for the cutout, make it here, and this should be here with a bigger size. So I think this 0 is complete, and now it's time for second 2 of the 2025. And now we have to do it maybe a little harder time for us, and we can adjust it just by the date selection tool. We just need to adjust it. And for this one I am just going to use it, normal selection tool. Now if I show you, I am going to use some other steps, just selecting these two and this shape to cut out from here, as I have followed the image and I can see some differences. So I'm now using the last texture from file, and now again I'm going to just using the shapes, making it smaller or bigger according to the demand. Okay, I think they are ready. Now just make all these red parts group, and then we will now we have grouped by pressing Ctrl and G. Now I'm selecting all these and pressing keyboard Ctrl 8 button to make it compound path, doing the same for this one. And if we change the color, just pick the color again. And now I have to make a copy by pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl F, and now we have to do it by minus front with the first one, and then doing the same thing with this one. And now we have also created a cut effect here, and now we have also cut effect in spring formal text, but we are not going to follow everything there. We will just try to make it a minimal. And you can see that there is a cutout in the P, so I'm going to take it. This time I'm going to use again the red color, and we'll place it, we'll just place it right now or without any delay. So I think there is no extra cutout here, and there is a cutout in the if later. If you can see it, there is also a cutout in if later. There is 2 or 3 cutout in if later. Now I'm just using the red color for this one again. We can adjust it. For the O, there is no cutout, and I can see cutout in the M letter, A letter, and L letter. M, A, and L letter. M, A, and L letter, and here also. So I'm just also there is a cutout in the O letter. I think, I'm not sure if this is cutout or not, but let's think this is a cutout. And now we have completed it, and it's time to place them one by one. So now let's select all these red shapes and group it, and then select the text spring fully. I have to select it again for the small mistake we did. And now we have selected paste, Ctrl G, Ctrl 8, doing the same for below yellow color text. Ctrl G, Ctrl 8, and now it's time to make a copy by Ctrl C, Ctrl F of the red version. And now we will just cut out from the front, doing the same for the below. Maybe there is some mistake we have did. Let's follow it again. We have a group, Ctrl C, Ctrl F. We have this, and we will do compartment by pressing Ctrl and 8, doing the same for the below, Ctrl 8. And now it's time for the cutout. I think there should be a cutout, yes. And then we have to cut out below also. And now we have almost completed the text. And if you see this was the previous, and this is after, with a cutout effect from this image. And this is very cool, right? Thank you so much for watching this video till end.